Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
It's so nice to talk to a special physician. Everyone knows, I'm ANITA FINLEY, and I've done this radio show for many years, and I do have a lot of doctors on my show, and many of them are very good, but there is a doctor that we're going to talk with, Dr. It's MOSHIN JAFFER, correct? Did I pronounce your first name correct?
You're right, MOSHIN JAFFER.
Yes. And Dr. Jaffer started an organization called Senior Medical Associates, and they're leaders in senior health care. And his motto is, together we can achieve the healthiest version of you. Now, that's a very good statement. So tell me what you mean about that, Dr. Jaffer.
In our offices, we feel as we get older, things happen to us. It's like an aging Cadillac. The new car is just gas and go.
Right.
As it gets older, it needs a little more tinkering. So the human body, though, compared to a Cadillac, which is in 20 years is junk, your human body can survive up to 120 years. Today, the oldest person alive is 116. So what we tell our patients is, we don't know how long you live. But we know one thing, that as long as you live, you have the ability and the capacity to live a long, healthy life.
Well, people need to hear that. See, they're the old adage, well, they got on Social Security at age 65, and they thought they might live a few more years. But what you just said, that woman, 116, and my grandmother, many years ago lived to be 95. My mother lived to be 94. My aunt lived to be 95. It is so common, but you're right. They have to take care of themselves. No one can do this for them, can they?
No. And unfortunately, we have evolved in a country that is so wealthy, so well endowed with a very robust and a beautiful medical system. But people think that a pill is the answer, or a knife or surgery is the answer. And the irony is, it still comes back, the tab is on us. What we do for ourselves will prevail. Like we tell our patients, you are the captain of the ship. You even own the ship, but you need a navigator. So you need a good doctor to come aboard and guide you. Now, where they need guidance is how to take care of problems that develop. For example, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol. These are low-hanging fruit in America. You know what's the irony? We only have 60% success in taking care of these simple problems.
Why do you think that's true?
Because, sometimes the doctor makes the right diagnosis and he gives her the right medicine, but the patient doesn't take it. Why? Because she did not have full confidence that she needs to take the medicine. Or for example, diabetes, high blood pressure is a silent disease. Why would you put poison in your body? By the way, I tell my patients, all medicines are poison. But when they are necessary, they are necessary. Otherwise, don't take them.
That's very good.
Yeah.
And you as a physician, though, you know that. So you're only going to prescribe what they need if it's absolutely necessary. And then you're going to watch them with it, aren't you?
Exactly. This is where the theory of the captain of the ship comes in. That, look, this is my ship. I'm not going to put any poison in it unless you, doctor, you explain why I should take this. And the doctor has to explain herself and tell to the patient that, look, you got high blood pressure. Medicine, yes, it's not going to give you any symptoms. Sometimes even medicines give you bad side effects. All medicines have side effects. And on top of that, you don't even have any symptoms. So the patient has to be really convinced. It means you have to sit down and explain the patient and say, look, you don't take high blood pressure medicine. Down the road, soon within 10, 20 years, you get heart attack, you get stroke, your kidneys will go out of whack, and then you'll be really miserable. So a stitch in time saves 9. Therefore, I want you to take it. And this is why we are practicing evidence-based medicine. not just anecdotal because this worked or that worked. We have done trials. You see, this is one thing about the hocus pocus that is pervade on the internet, where people say, take this and take that, this is natural, that's natural, but there is no proof. In evidence-based medicine, there is a trial done, which is placebo-controlled, randomized, and doctor doesn't know the medicine is real or placebo, and then we can know the results, whether it really works or doesn't work, and also you can record all the side effects. And the patient who is the captain of the ship says, look, I know the side effects, I know the effects, you have convinced me why I should take this medicine, therefore, because I'm convinced, I will take it. And that patient becomes a good, diligent patient, a compliant patient. And she gets good results because she was on board.
But you see, you said something that was very important. You took the time to explain all this, and you didn't say, okay, I'm going to prescribe this and just take it. Unfortunately, a lot of physicians, many times the younger physicians, that's unfortunate, or the ones who have not been trained with I know that you have, you come really from another country originally, and fortunately, those other countries didn't do what a lot of doctors who were educated here in the United States do. It was, you had families, it was just different. I love to talk to physicians who are from other countries because there's something special about them.
It's true. It's the culture of respecting and revering seniors. In most societies all over the world, the older you get, the more respected you are. And you're not relegated to a nursing home or to live on your own. Usually you're surrounded by family and friends who are a very great support system. So that matters. But our offices specialize only in seniors. We only take people 65 and above. And we know that this is a group of patients that doesn't hear well, needs a lot of convincing because as you get older, you become more cynical of all the hocus pocus out there. So you need a little more time, a little more effort from your doctor to be convinced about the treatment. Follow-up also. Like we tell all our patients, bring your medicines when you come in. Many times you prescribe medicine and you find the bottle is still full.
Right.
So that needs a second try, and usually we succeed. Sometimes, Rome is not built in a day.
Right.
So we don't give up on the patient, especially like a lot of medical problems can be cured by the patient herself. If she is overweight, like I'll tell you, heart, if you have a clogged artery, a stent or a bypass will not really extend your life unless it's clogged and there's a danger of you having a death of your heart muscle. But what will really sustain you and extend your life is your doctor telling you that, ma'am, you are overweight. You need to lose your weight, and convince her to eat smart and reduce her weight. Or you are very sedentary, you don't do any exercise, get her moving. Get her balance better so she doesn't break her hip. Get her muscle strength up so her osteoporosis is slowed down or reduced. This is where the idea of a patient being the primary mover. The doctor is just an assistant, a guide, a help. And once the patient takes charge of her own body, it is much more enduring and much more prevailing.
I'm going to ask you a strange question. Do you feel that women will respond better than men? I'm asking that because I have something in my mind, but go ahead. What do you think?
I'm a man, and I'll tell you this. There is no doubt women make much better patients than men.
Huh.
Men, yes, unfortunately, it's an old known statistic that men don't like to go to doctors, don't like to show that they have a problem. But women are much more open. They will discuss their problems easily and will seek help much more readily than men do, unfortunately.
Interesting.
It's our macho thing, I guess.
That's very true what you just said about the man who his wife has to push him to go or someone has to push him. But on the other
Most
hand,
of the time, yes. Most of the time, the men are pushed in because the wife insists, I'm taking you to the doctor.
that's true. But yet, it's interesting now. I see you have a lovely staff, and there are two lovely women physicians. So do
Yes.
they respond better with the females?
It's very interesting. I think the much older staff were used to revering a male doctor.
Mm.
But the younger group, they are the new boomer, the boomer generation. They are a lot more amenable to listening to a female staff because usually they would not be very receptive to a female doctor instructing them. But I see that change, and I'm very, very happy about that because it was not fair to the female doctors. They do an equally good job. Sometimes they're even more patient than male doctors.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Let me tell everybody who this brilliant physician, MOSHIN JAFFER, who is the founder of the Senior Medical Associates. And let me tell you how you can get in touch with them. That's really important. You want to do that. And one thing that they do have is free meet and greet. And we're going to talk about that for a minute. But they do have 10 full-service medical centers, and all you have to do is call them for an appointment. Let me, please, we always say that you have to write everything down and get your pencils out. This is Pencil Talk Radio. So get your pencils. I'm going to give you the phone number. It's a magic number. It's 954-659-9690. And again, I'm going to say that. 954-659-9690. And the website is seniormedicalassociates.net. seniormedicalassociates.net. Tell us what happens at the meet and greet events.
It is very important. You see, sometimes as you get older, because you have medical problems, your doctor becomes the most important person in your life because you perhaps meet your doctor more than even your children. And you want to meet somebody who you have trust and confidence. So if you're going to change a doctor or meet a new doctor, how do you know he or she is the right fit? How do you know that you and her or him will get along? So we said we'll make it very easy for you. You come in, you survey the facility, you meet the staff, and you meet the doctor and explain your problems to the doctor and let the doctor sort of just by what you have told him or her, give you an explanation of what the game plan would be, what is our philosophy, what we like you to do, how our partnership would evolve and would be the best ideal partnership and how we would work together. This gives the patient a lot of comfort level and makes the patient feel, well, I've come home. You see, our offices don't have the windows, don't have a separated waiting room. You can see the staff. There is no barrier. Seniors don't like that. Like our telephones don't have answering, press number 1 for this, number 2. There's a live voice because we do cater for seniors and they don't like these barriers. So they feel, we want our patients to feel that they've come to another home where the staff know them, there is friendship and there is partnership, and they feel like they are the captain of the ship and feel ownership of the whole experience.
Yep, I love the way you put that. That's well said. And tell me, what happens now with Google? Do you have patients coming in telling you what you should do for them?
Actually, we have always encouraged that. You see, we want patients to investigate. What we don't like is to trust what they read on the internet as gospel, to take that advice. But the doctor who knows them, knows their medical problems. In the old days, what used to happen, this lady went to the swimming area or went to the gym and met other ladies, and somebody said, I got this test and I'm taking this medicine, and they start exchanging their medicines or want the same test. So now, instead of just having your friends tell you by the poolside, Now it's the internet telling you all the different things.
Mm.
And your doctor knows your body intimately in terms of its physiology and what your problems are, the side effects of the different drugs that will be implemented on you. So your doctor becomes the best friend, help, and a guide. So you bring in whatever information you have outside or whatever advice you were given or whatever you see on TV and come and discuss with your doctor. We encourage that. We encourage patients to bring a list also of the symptoms or problems they face so they can discuss with your doctor and leave that office visit with all your questions that you had accumulated between the visits, and they are all answered. Because it happens so often, patient leaves the doctor's office and says, oh, shucks, I forgot to ask this, I forgot to ask that. And that may be a very important thing to report to your doctor. But you don't know. But
Right.
if you wrote it down, you don't forget. So
No.
my advice to your listeners is, please, when you go to your doctor, take all your medicines with you, even the over-the-counter medicines. You'll be surprised how many contain so many potent medicines in it. Number 2, take a list of all the symptoms and all the questions you had thought about before the visit. This way, you'll have a meaningful and a very rewarding doctor visit.
Very, very good advice. I'll tell you what I actually did. All my supplements I only take a small, just one medication, but I took my iPhone and I took a picture of each one of them, and I have it on my, on my photos because you're always asked about them and you can't remember it. So it's another suggestion. If you people have their phones, take a picture of your medications, your supplements, whatever you're doing so that the doctor understands. Now, when people bring in...
Can I, before you go further,
Sure.
because you made a fantastic point. With the new smartphones, and all our seniors these days have become very techy,
Yeah.
and they carry their phones.
Right.
I advise all of them, number 1, to carry the copy of their insurance cards. They, they keep a file, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They keep a file in the photograph section of medical files. Take picture of all your important documents for your cards and whatnot. Number 2, take picture of all the medicines you take. Number 3, take a picture of your latest ECG and a picture of your latest test. So anytime you go, let's say you go to another doctor, you don't have a test, you can show these are my last tests. And you can compare also from the older one.
Good.
If the doctor gets a report of a CAT scan or MRI, take the picture of that report. Keep it in your phone. Be the custodian of your own care.
Right. Well, I love the advice that you give, and I know that you're such a kind person, knowing you and seeing how you treat people. So when you hired the physicians, do you have a training so that people can do it the way you do it?
Yes. They work with me for a while.
Right.
Before they practice on their own. You see, all doctors have trained under different situations, different universities, different modus operandi, because medicine is a lot of art form. It is a science, but there's the art of medicine, how you practice, how you interact with your patients, how do you respond to their needs, how do you respond to a cranky patient, how do you respond to a patient who's belligerent, how you patient to somebody who yeses you but doesn't do. So these are small nuances that we learn over the years. And it will be very good and helpful to pass these tips to our new doctors.
Yes. Yeah.
So most of our doctors are they love geriatric medicine, they love taking care of seniors, and all of them come with a great experience. So we meld it together with our philosophy, so they become proper custodians of our patients.
Well, I see you have a lot of offices. I want to tell everybody, so I know people listen to the show from all over. So you can go to a doctor at Coconut Creek, Coral Springs, Deerfield Beach, Hollywood, Pembroke Pines, Plantation, Oakland Park, Sunrise, Tamarack, Weston. And the nice thing is they have a lot of physicians that speak all the languages, whether it's English, Spanish, Hindu, Swahili, Patwa. I mean, if you don't speak the language, and it's very important, I know, if you're going to a doctor, to understand what they're saying. So be sure that you don't, that you go to someone in an organization like this where you can really understand what the doctor's telling you. The other thing is, you really should bring someone with you when you go to the doctor. Don't you agree, Doctor?
I think it's a very good idea because, seniors forget a lot what they are told.
Yeah.
So when you have somebody with you, he or she is your crutch, your help, your guide.
Yeah, that's right. It is true because you get nervous. You don't know what they're saying. You don't remember. So I do think that you should bring someone with you. And I'm sure you run into people, and you said it, I think, at the very beginning, people don't hear so well. Make sure that you get hearing aids. Don't say they don't work, because if you don't get hearing aids, you know what happens. You'll miss everything. You'll think there's someone telling you the wrong things.
And patients are embarrassed to ask, I didn't hear that.
Yes.
So I tell my patients, be completely shameless. If you didn't understand what we told you, please, we'll repeat it to you as many times as you want.
Right.
In fact, we even give them a card with all the medicines on it. Because patients forget. If you ask a patient what you're taking, maybe they're taking 4 or 5 medications. They don't remember.
True.
But if they have a card, they keep it in their pocketbook, and anytime they're asked, they take out the card.
Yes. Well, people, though, the other thing that you should really be careful about, our listeners, that you live in condominiums, you have a lot of friends, and they tell you all sorts of things. We used to call it old wives' tales. You have to talk to your doctor. If you're doing something different and your neighbor says, oh, don't do that, I don't want to do that, you shouldn't do that. No, right? Talk to your doctor.
This is very important. Because that's why we do a meet and greet, so that you are so comfortable with your doctor. Now you have chosen him or her as your custodian, your guardian, your navigator on your ship. Then trust him or her, to give you the direction. Then don't listen to outside advice and get a crash. So be involved. And if you don't like your doctor, then change your doctor. You see, you don't have to suffer anybody. This is a free country.
Yes.
But if you like your doctor and you trust the education of your doctor and the advice he or she gives, then become a participant. And if you have a problem of a reaction or you don't like something, tell him or her that this is your problem and you will find a solution. But don't just arbitrarily stop taking or change the dose or do something different.
Yes, that's what people do. So in the time we have left, tell me and tell our listeners, please, what is the most serious disease that people, is it heart failure? Is it cancer? What are you seeing the most happen to older adults?
See, number one killer in our country is cardiovascular disease. A clot in my heart or clot in my brain. That's going to kill most of our fellow Americans. Number 2 is the cancers. And I'm going to surprise you. You know what's number 3?
No, I don't.
Hospitals.
I understand that. Yes, you explain that to people.
So a lot of people, things happen in the hospital and they die. Mistakes or bad outcomes. You have somebody who's puttering along. She's 90 years old, doing well. But you put her in a hospital because of a pneumonia, and then because she's not moving, she's not doing next thing her kidneys are not functioning, that's not happening. And she dies, and we think she died of pneumonia, but she really died because she was out for her home. And so many mistakes happen and things happen. Because to err is human, and a lot of things, medicine is a multifactorial treatment program. But that's why we like to put the patient at the helm. By the way, another good advice, if you ever get admitted, make sure somebody's with you all the time.
Yes.
Make sure. You'll catch a lot of mistakes from happening.
Yes, we call it advocates.
Yes. So, somebody who knows you well and knows your allergies well and knows about your medical diagnosis and what is happening, so somebody else's medicine doesn't get given to you or some procedure that you shouldn't have gets done to you and things like that. A lot of this protective measure goes a long way.
You're so right.
You asked me about death.
Yes.
So when we know the biggest killer in America is something happened to your arteries in your heart or your brain, and the irony is the greatest treatment is you. The best way to prevent these outcomes is exercise. Exercise and hydration. Old people don't drink enough water. So for your listeners, they'll never forget this guy now, because he reminds them to look at their pee every time they pee.
Yeah.
You go to the bathroom, look at the toilet bowl. If your urine is yellow, you're not drunk enough. Go and drink more water.
Okay.
And all of you must walk at least 2 to 4 miles a day. You
Really?
don't have to walk all of it at the same time. You can do a little in the morning, little in the afternoon, little in the evening. You go to Publix, park your car far. You're inside Publix, do a few rounds extra. You visit somebody who lives on the 4th floor, don't use the elevator. Use the stairs.
You're terrific.
Find excuses. You're watching TV, there's a commercial, just get up, take a walk, and come back.
That's wonderful. I love talking to you. Well, we're going to talk to you again, and I am so happy that we're now working with you again. I admire you and your organization, and we're having our big expo Tuesday, July 23rd at Seminole Casino. It's a fabulous thing because people walk there. We have a lot of fun, and so hopefully maybe we'll get a chance to see you there. If not, I'm going to have to come to one of your meet and greets.
Thank you, and keep up the good work you do. You do a great service to the boomer generation.
Thank you, and so do you. So do you. It's such a pleasure to have spoken to you today, and we'll talk to you again. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Goodbye.
Dr. Jaffer. I just want to tell everybody again the phone number, 954-659-9690, 954-659-9690, or go to their website, seniormedicalassociates.net. Thank you again.